Yo minasan, welcome to Manga Sensei. I'm your host here, breaking down the world's best language in 5 minutes or less every single day. Today I'm going to be talking about 5 unique, at least to me I feel unique, tips that I can give you for learning to speak the Japanese language. The first tip I have is something I say every single episode. That is to make 10,000 mistakes. Now, 10,000 mistakes seems like a very arbitrary number, and it is. The idea behind it is simply to make a ton of mistakes and make them as quickly as you possibly can. And it's the idea that you learn from these mistakes and quickly and get comfortable making them. You're not going to be perfect. By the time you say konnichiwa, you're going to notice that the particle at the end looks like konnichiha, and then you're going to know what you're writing it wrong, and all these things you're going to worry about. But what you really need to understand is you're not writing it wrong. That you need to make mistakes. You need to do this, and you can do this. It's important. You can. I believe in you. Number 2. This is a kind of a strange tip, and maybe some of the more advanced speakers will kind of give me flack for this. If you disagree with any of my tips, please give me notes down below them and I will tell you why you're wrong. This tip is to write all of your vocab words in romanized script. That's right. If you were to write the word neko, you don't write it in ne and then ko, you would simply write it in neko as an N-E-K-O. And the reason I say this is because for the majority of English speakers or other languages as well as lives, you've been taught to speak and read with these romanized letters. Japanese hiragana, though useful as long as you can identify them, are not necessary, and actually I believe impede your ability to quickly learn the language, particularly when it comes to what's called front loading, that is to quickly absorb a lot of vocabulary, okay? So that's my second tip. My third tip is probably fairly stereotypical. That is to get yourself around a native speaker. When you're around a native speaker, it's good to not use them for a language study, but it's good to be able to ask them certain questions, to immerse yourself in the culture, and hopefully even find a friend that may not speak your native language. What I recommend doing is also learning 3 key phrases when talking to them. The first one is, how would you say this as a native speaker? You would say that like, どうやってネイティブスピーカーとして言うんですか? The second one is, does that make sense? これは分かってきましたか? Did that make sense? Is very, very important. And the third one is, いや、これはちょっとわからない。ちょっと日本語で説明してくれないですか? I'm sorry, I don't understand. Would you please explain that to me in Japanese? That way you can understand how they explain and how they use their language. Tip number 4. Japanese should not sound good to you, it should sound good to the native speaker. I meet people who have lovely Japanese grammar understanding, and I meet people who've lived in Japan for a long period of time and don't necessarily understand the grammar, but they sound more like a native speaker, and that's what you want. See, to learn the language doesn't mean you learn the language to please yourself. I don't want to sound like a really good American speaker of Japanese. I want to sound like a good speaker of Japanese in general, and that relies highly upon my accent. So even if it sounds funny to you, putting all of your sounds in the front of your mouth like this right up here, that's how they sound, and that's how your Japanese should sound as well. And my last tip. This tip may seem a little bit, I don't know, simple, but I believe it's also extremely important when using it. Immerse yourself. You may be able to take your friend and only see with them a little while, but you can definitely turn your phone into Japanese. You can definitely label everything in your house in Japanese. You can force yourself to think in Japanese, and that's all very important. But the part I want to really emphasize is when you immerse yourself, also allow yourself breaks. Japanese is a difficult thing and it will be very, very hard to learn. I'm not here to tell you that it's going to be easy, and I'm not here to tell you that you're simply going to learn it overnight. In fact, I'm here to fight against that on the internet because I believe there's so much garbage out there. I'm here to take them down. Come at me, bro. Japanese will be difficult, but if you keep and persist and you try very hard and you work to immerse yourself even in your mind to think in Japanese, think, how would I say that? What is that word? What does that mean? All the time, it'll help you. But also allow yourself to step back, understand that right now getting frustrated is not going to help me, and that I can still do it. With that, that is my 5 main tips for learning Japanese. These things have served me very, very well in my experience. And if you have any questions, comments, or criticisms, please put them down below. You should give this a like, share it with your friends, and all that good stuff. And I will see you tomorrow. Until then, じゃあね。